I guess it's a well-known GM problem that GM doesn't recognize as a problem yet. Not good. All right, guys, we got some pretty exciting news we've been working on for like a year. You're gonna not wanna miss Sunday's video. We're gonna announce it. Stay tuned Sunday. It's coming. Pretty excited. It's gonna be good. The late night shift has begun. Let me think how this story goes. So it started a few months ago. My Duramax. It's what I tow all my rigs all over the country with. We've put 70,000 miles on it in like 3 years now. So pretty much it's had a trailer hooked to it its whole life. So just recently it started having some transmission issues. Shocker, my truck with transmission problems. But anyhow, I guess it's a well-known GM problem that GM doesn't recognize as a problem yet. So you'll be cruising along at speed with a load on it, and it will randomly downshift to second gear at 85. Not good, kind of scary actually. So we done some research, called Chad, he did some research. We found a company that's making a fix for it because GM does not have a fix for it as of yet. So tonight we're gonna pull the Duramax in here, we're gonna pull the transmission apart and put some parts in it. I'll show you what we got. If any of you guys are having the same troubles, pay attention because we're gonna try it. If this fixes it, you'll know how to do it. So here we go. Let's tear a transmission apart. That'll probably do. I don't know if I can reach all that. I'm gonna have to let her down some. So supposedly I just gotta pull this pan off and put some parts in it. Let me show you what we got here. That always makes you happy when you see that. This right here says it fixes our whole problems. Next gen drivetrain. So hopefully here in a couple hours, I will have all of this stuff installed. We'll be able to take it. So the truck, not only does it downshift on its own, sometimes randomly, it goes into limp mode and you have to stop, reset the computer, do all the stuff, clear the codes. It also, just sitting there in neutral, will try to surge and go in gear and do all crazy things. So problems to solve. I'm gonna film with my left hand because I don't want to get tranny fluid on my cast. We're gonna go ahead, pull this out. We'll drain this thing. Probably gonna take a while to drain with this little tiny drain plug. Tranny fluid doesn't smell very good. That's not encouraging. We'll drain it. I'll get back to you when she's drained. All right, we got the pan off. There's not a lot of debris in the bottom of the pan, which makes me think the tranny's still semi-alive. We're gonna clean it, and then we'll go ahead and pull this thing apart. We'll let that drip for a bit, and then we'll pull it apart. We're gonna go ahead and read the instructions because we care about this. Step 1, remove valve body from transmission. All right, I'll read all this, figure out how to do it, and then I'll show you. So I just got done reading the instructions. Pretty straightforward. There's a bunch that has to happen in order. So all these solenoids have got to come apart and they have to go back in the exact same order they came out in. So we'll end up pulling them out. We're gonna clean them up, ride on them, label them to which one goes where. And we got to pull the valve body clear apart, change out some solenoid, or not solenoids, but valves in it, and put ones that have O-rings in it so they're not gonna leak, because that is the problem that I'm reading, is the O-rings, or the things we're changing don't have O-rings. We'll show you as we're going. And it says it fixes it, but start tearing it apart. Ever worked on a Duramax tranny?
No.
That makes two of us. So just push the little tabs in, unlock them. We're undoing wiring currently. We'll get this all off of here. And then there's select bolts. If you look on here, there's colors that hold this on. We'll pull all the blue ones and the red ones, and then the valve body should drop off of there. here we are. For good or bad, it's out. We are unplugging wiring currently. Plugging all the solenoids. Remove the wiring, and then we'll get on with fixing this thing. There's a bolt holding that on still. I'm gonna need your hand. What's that? Should be pretty straightforward. They can only go back in one spot, really. Now these have to go back in
the same order they came out.
Yeah. Remove the remaining bolts holding the valve body together by referring to the diagram below. Some check balls will likely fall out of the valve body.
Okay.
Sounds encouraging, right?
Yeah.
So it said, I think red's gonna be short.
Blue short.
Blue is short. Where did I just pull that out of? Leave those together.
Yeah, just gonna leave all those bolts.
Sure enough, am. All right. These should all be the same.
Yep. They're all the same.
I need your assistance. I ain't got enough hand. Which is the gasket staying or going?
It is coming.
You got it?
Yep.
That's where we're gonna change all the stuff. A few check balls in here. Maybe some of these plungers. I don't, oh yeah, there's one. We'll do some reading. On to the next step. Will the Duramax ever run again? Who knows?
It'll run, but it probably won't move.
Hey! It says, sure to move all 6 linear solenoids. Planning on labeling them. We're gonna clean it up. Go grab us some brake cleaner.
Okay.
We'll clean these up and put this back together. So I forgot about town board meeting tonight, so I had to leave and run to town board meeting. Then I just ate some food. I'm not gonna lie, I've lost all desire to work on this truck tonight. She's all tore apart, scattered in here. Will we put it back together tomorrow? Chances are good. So we'll see. Oh, I took my splint off. That's my wound right there. So that's another thing. I have my splint off right now. I just don't want to suit back up. So calling her a night. I'll get back at this tomorrow. And oh, there was lots of comments on casts and different things. I've never had a cast. It was just like a wrap with a hard thing in it. Splint, I guess is what you call it. And I ruined those every day, so I would just rewrap it. Now I have a hard, like a brace thing that I'm supposed to wear for apparently like the next 2 months, but I'm gonna give it a valiant effort and stick with it for a couple of weeks. But the arm's feeling pretty good, it works. I mean, it doesn't twist real well yet, but it's getting there, so soon enough. All right, this morning, we're back at this. First things first, I'm gonna take and number each one of these solenoids so that I can get them back in the right order. Same with these solenoids over here. Then I'm going to disassemble the rest of that and start putting new parts in this thing. All right, solenoids are successfully numbered and taken out. I marked the case where one goes. Should be fairly easy to put this back together. So now I just got some instruction reading to do. Figure out where to put the new parts in, which are these. And I'll show you the difference between the new parts and the old parts once I get the old parts out and figure out where they go. All right, first part's coming out, new one's going in. So this is all aluminum I'm taking out, and this is all machined with O-rings going back in. So we'll swap some parts. Lube up the O-rings. Slip this together. All right, so what I'm doing here, I'm trying to get this little valve to just slide, get the O-rings wore in. And if you will listen, it's doing it. So on to the next few. All right, we're on the downward slide here. I'm putting these little retainers in and all the solenoids back in this thing. Then we're good to go. That's why number them was a good idea. Okie dokes. Last one, then the valve body can go back together. All right, those are all installed. We got some spare parts here we left out. We took this out, left it out. It said it was supposed to make the cooler flow all the time. I think we clean this thing up and it goes back together, so. Walla walla. Run that over this. Don't get all freaked out, we're gonna torque them. All right, just some reinstalling and got it. Okay, time to put it in. All right, we are flushing trans cooler currently.
It's like motor oil.
It's not good. We're gonna blow a whole bunch of it out of here.
Some ASMR sounds.
I want to just give her the onion because it'll coat me, but it's getting cleaned out. We'll get all we can get out of it and we'll call it good enough. We are going back together here.
Look who's it. You just barely woke up, boy.
I know. That couch is pretty nice.
You know who didn't just barely wake up?
You and Jace.
Yeah, we've been at work for some time.
They've already went through 2 spray cans.
I built a whole valve body and put it back in. Trans is back together. I'm gonna hurry and put a new filter on it. And then I think we can put a pan on it. This thing is terrible. GM could have done better. Like, there's no dipstick on this thing. You have to pump oil in the side of it, which is ridiculous. And then pull a plug to start it and see if it leaks out. Come on, GM. I hope this fixes this thing. We'll see. Supposed to have new trucks so you don't have to work on them. Here I am, working on it. Takes away from the fun stuff that we have to do. A lot of pan bolts. I didn't want that thing to leak. What if it's worse? If it is, you're gonna want to give me a minute. I throw stuff. Swear a lot. All right, trans is back together. We're gonna go ahead and pump 2 gallons of fluid in this thing, and then we'll start it. See where we're at. This is about to be a cluster what we've got going on here. So we're using an old pump, a bucket to pour it in, and we'll pump it in the truck. So should be my fastest, easiest route. We'll see if this works, and we'll go for it. All right, here's the setup. Land's pumping her up in there. We'll get a whole bunch in it, and then we'll start it and make sure it's good to go. We have got the tranny successfully fixed, I think. We're gonna go ahead and change the motor oil in it real quick. And then we'll go take it for a rip and see if we did good or bad or what we did, but we've done some stuff. So we've put all that in it, filled it up. We blew the coolers out. We cleaned everything out of what we could. So hopefully we got good oil and problems fixed. All right, so I got to go through and reset all of my stuff because we just changed the oil in it. All right, it says I have a low tire. Air filter, we need to check that probably. Fuel filter, we're just gonna go ahead and reset that because we just did it. Okay, let's see if it moves.
It moves.
Well, that's a good miracle.
That's a good sign.
Well, let's go take it for a ride. So far, so good. Well, let's see what it says here in a second. All right, what did it do before?
Wouldn't it like kick it out of drive?
No, I did like stutter and then it would kick into limp mode when you turn the exhaust brake on. We'll turn that on. That shift felt good. That one's awesome. This one, oh yeah, that one was the hard one right there before.
It was?
Yeah, all those shifts are awesome now. Turn the trans, we're in tow haul. This is where it always had problems before. Seems to be good. I think we fixed it.
Feels like we did.
$1,000. Whole bunch of frustration, some time, lots of oil, and a giant mess in the shop. We'll go back and, oh yeah, look at that. That's like it's supposed to be now. Exhaust brake comes on, it downshifts. Hasn't done that for a while. That's pretty cool. It's back to the way we wanted it. All right, we just came down to the old Y, got ourselves a cold beverage. We're heading home. Truck's fixed, so until some other problems happen, she's good to go. Pile of parts, $1,000 later in a few hours. Truck's back in good shape. Seems to shift fine, works fine, everything's good. So until next time, thanks for watching.